you know. Hi, my name is Robb, and I am the assistant director and cinematographer behind Obscene Phenomena. Obviously, the world was a very different place when we started this. It was supposed to be a live performance, and we have since had to change the direction of the performance to digital. This has proved to be quite the challenge, but I really hope that we were able to emulate just a fraction of what we got to see Zoe do as we were filming. I am very proud of the work that we've all done. Just any opportunity to work with Zoe and Dr. Baldwin is a gift that I would highly recommend doing if anyone ever has the opportunity to. Editing footage is work. It takes a lot of time, but I've always found it kind of fun. And when you're working with someone like Zoe, it's insane. You have to make a lot of difficult choices. Zoe gives you a lot, and when you're in the editing booth, you have to kind of decide who gets to see what. And I really hope that I did a good job finding the pieces of Zoe to show you guys. She's very talented. You could definitely see the work in the footage here, and you could definitely see the work in her script. And of course, the show wouldn't be what it is without the advice and direction of the amazing Dr. Baldwin. So yeah, I just kind of jump at every opportunity I can to work with them, and it just so happened to lead me to this show during a pandemic. I'm really glad that I was able to make myself useful with video stuff. I think that was the one sure thing that I definitely was able to add to this dynamic here. So I'm really glad that I was able to be of use here. If you're interested in seeing more of this, consider donating to UHCL Storytellers. I'm going to be putting the Venmo right here, and it's also going to be in the description. So check that out. Donate if you feel so inclined. Proceeds will be helping us make more things like this. Also, okay. While you're here, consider subscribing. Let's mash that subscribe button. Let's hit the bell for notifications. Give this video a like. If we can get 5,000 likes, that would be crazy, right? 5,000? Can we get 5,000 likes? Okay, I'll shut up now. So, thank you for your time. Please enjoy Obscene Phenomena, and I'll see you later. I'm not gonna do that thing where I like lean over and you see me turn the camera off. It's just gonna cut off.
Hi, I'm Andrea Baldwin, lecturer here at the University of Houston Clear Lake. I am also the sponsor of the UHCL Storytellers, and I did advisory direction for this production. First, let me say to all of my colleagues, thank you so much for watching this production. To all of my performance studies practitioners all across the country and all across the world who are also making the pivot from live performance to digital, we commend you. One of the great things I think that is happening amongst all the things that are happening in 2020 is that this allows us to be able to be present in productions we wouldn't normally have the chance to travel for. I recognize from firsthand experience that how hard this work is to try to make the ephemera something that we can capture online. So I commend you 100%. Thank you so much for watching. Originally, Obscene Phenomena was scheduled to go up in April of 2020, but like everything else, in March of this year, everything stopped. So we spent the time taking this live performance and turning it into a digital experience. Part of what it meant for us to turn this into a digital experience meant that we wanted to commit ourselves, both myself and the assistant director and the artist and performer, to try to make this experience as close to live as possible. We realized it's not going to be fully live, but we wanted to try and do as much as we could to make it feel as close to live as possible. This means that we have 360 shots that happen in the production. This also means that we have lots of times where we are talking directly to the camera. My job in this production is to make sure that the vision of the artist and the vision of the assistant director is fully executed. We had a live script back in early spring that is founded in foundations of psychology, which is Zoe's major, communication studies and performance theory, as well as feminist rhetoric. Once we had that script and we made the pivot into digital, my job was to make sure that the artist's goals and the assistant director's goals were fully realized, all with guidelines and advisory along the way. If you're interested in doing any performance work at the University of Houston Clear Lake, I encourage you to seek out the UHCL Storytellers. It is a platform for which student-run performance can happen. Should you be interested in doing that, please contact me at email. Also, if you are interested in helping out our production, we have a Venmo available. If you feel comfortable, if you are in the position to do so, please donate to our Venmo. Part of what those proceeds do is it helps us, whenever we're not in a pandemic, travel to other schools to network and also watch other productions, but also help us get equipment and to pay some of our artists for the work that they are doing. Seeing that we're going to be in a pandemic for a while, we should probably do that. If you are interested in donating, our Venmo is located here. As a final note to you, we are issuing out, just a heads up, a general advisory. This production has lewd language and allusions to nudity. Also, stick around at the very end after the credits. We have a respondent. Brittany Hale from the University of North Texas will give a quick response about the performance at the end. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Hey there. My name is Zoe Freedkin, and I am the writer, director, and performer for Obscene Phenomena. A little bit about my show. Obscene Phenomena goes into the positive and negative effects of objectification on femme bodies. I wanted to use the word femme instead of just diving into cisgender, because I know that objectification and catcalling doesn't happen to just cisgendered individuals. A little bit into the theory that inspired Obscene Phenomena, I go into two different kinds of theories. The first one being social psychology theories such as Gestalt's Spotlight Effect and Dr. Zimbardo's The Lucifer Effect. And I also go into feminist theory and feminist performance, such as Nico Woods' Sideshow and Brianna Waycoff and Carrie Ness's A Portrait of Experiments in Equator Femme. What I wanted to get out of this show and what I wanted individuals to experience with it is I want to take everybody on a ride of the ebb and flow of how women and individuals feel about when they get hyped or when they feel that they are peer pressured into situations that they didn't want to be in the first place. But I don't want to spoil anything. So without further ado, here is Obscene Phenomena. I was in an on-off relationship with this athlete for about 3 months now, who I thought was the one. I wanted him to stay with me so damn bad. So I shaped my body to his needs. We were in the car going out to eat when he asked me about my workout routine. I told him I worked out 3 times a week for about an hour. He told me, that's good, but let me give you a workout routine that'll help you slim down a bit more. This was only the start. I used to be friends with this girl who had a flat stomach and a tiny waist. I desperately wanted to be like her. I would follow her dumb diets, which turned into starving myself for periods of the day, the week, the entire month. She took notice when we were trying on band banquet dresses. I came out of the dressing room with this hourglass hugging dress. To which she said, "Girl, you look thinner than usual. You used to be like..." "I'm so proud of you for slimming down." In high school, I was a part of the band program. What that entails is 3 to 6 hours for 4 days a week outside in the Texas heat. Mind you, that's only when school was in session. At the same time, I was a vegetarian, I worked out 4 days a week on top of working with the band, and I also played soccer for the school. I did this for what I thought was my own health, but in reality, I was compulsively exercising, which is a form of anorexia. At one band performance, I passed out from the lack of food. The people around me forced me to eat, but my body refused to have anything inside. But at least I looked really slimming in my band uniform. The one that critiques us the most is the voice inside us. Adding friends and loved ones equals more self-conscious conversations that sound more like mean jokes. This is the fattest I've been all year. Okay, today's the day I start my workout routine so I can be beach bod ready. I feel so overweight. My butt needs to be bigger. It's too flat. Hey, babe, am I too heavy? This mental obscene phenomena that we have is subjective, meaning it is and will be interpreted differently by all. Let me explain. Obscene, offensive to moral principles, repugnant. Synonyms include improper, shocking, and suggestive. Phenomena, a rare or significant event. Synonyms include flash, marvel, and sensation. Femme bodies need to be shown that attention, wanted and unwanted, does affect us, no matter who tells us we look pretty, skinny, fit, or whatever else flatters us. Will not matter if we don't believe it's true. You look fine, chill out. You look beach bod ready to me. For the 10th time, you're not overweight. You are fine. Your butt looks big enough to me. Don't worry about it. Babe, you're not too heavy. Do these phrases sound familiar to any of you? Y'all, do these phrases sound familiar? Do these responses sound familiar? All we want is the truth, but how can we attain it if we don't see it for ourselves? Who do I look like to you? Not a model, that's for sure. I feel like I look like me, but I don't feel like me. I can see skin, but I don't see how it fits my hips. I can see a face, a chest, and legs, but they feel more like cartoon anatomy, bulbous and out of place. Maybe if I restrict my eating, do what I did in high school and go back to the diets, I will feel more like myself. How can anyone live like this? Everyone lives like this, but don't worry, you're fine.
Hey, sweets. Let me introduce you to my friend. Her name's Fashion. 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 She's always my plus one. Fashion. Fashion. And what? And what? Her name's Fashion. Fashion. And what? And what? Her name's Fashion. Fashion. And what do we do with fashion? Pose. Pose. And strut. And strut. Pose. Shoulders back, hips forward. Pose. Get confident. Pose. Left strut. Pose. Right strut. Go down. Go up. Pose. Left leg. Pose. Right leg. And strut. Go down. Go up. Fashion. Her name's Fashion. Fashion. Her name's Fashion. Shoulders back, hips forward. Always be in style. Helps if your legs are longer than a mile. Shoulders back. Find your light. Give them a little bit of ass. Pose.
So I see you like my posture. So I see you like my outfit. Thanks! Cosmo says it fits women of my size and stature. I'm sorry, but who told Cosmo what is for me or not for me? Who asked the highbrow fashion editors of Vogue or Cosmopolitan that this two-piece ensemble is a curvy girl's best friend? I didn't ask, but I showed it to you. And 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 I looked at you for some kind of approval, and you took my look and exposed it to the world. You took it because some magazine or millennial couple on E said, OMG, it's Today's Weekly, what the fuck? Ooh. Yikes. A two-piece on her body? Maybe if she covered it in a big jacket and changed the shoes, it would be less of a hot mess. Who said you were the next Joan Rivers? Oh, chief of the fashion police, nitpicking at my choices in aesthetics? This aesthetic grew from Hume when he told the world that beauty is more sweet and bitter and fitted by nature to produce feelings. This aesthetic grew from Reed when he proclaimed that when an object has an effect on human beings, it deserves to be treated as a genuine quality, not to be thrown onto an operating table to be filled with plastic or thrown into a strict diet of fewer than 1,000 calories. Do you not know what's going on? Taste and its claim to validity seem to possess the same attributes, just like aesthetic discernment or aesthetic judgment. This just in, a model from Uruguay died at Madrid's Fashion Week due to society's social standards of beauty. She literally died for fashion, all because she believed that ultra-thin is the only way to falsify self-confidence and the positive opinion of a label. Let's take it back. In 2013, the Israeli Modeling Act was put in place due to women like her who either died or came close to it just so they can live out their little girl dream. Killing yourself for the satisfaction of walking 20 seconds per garment doesn't sound like something a little girl should obey. But who am I to judge? I was that little girl. The one who gazed at the women who hung pretty dresses over their bodies and walked like gods. When you model, you're just a walking coat hanger and nothing else. Yeah, I was told that loads of times, especially when it pertained to me modeling. And then it followed with, but don't worry, fuller-figured women such as yourself may be better doing other things. Excuse me?
Smile for the camera, baby. Cheese.
God, I want to push you on your knees to pray and let you suck the Jesus out of me.
Just one more.
Come over here, baby.
I can lay down to sleep.
And I can ask for anything I want. Just one more picture, and I can lay down and sleep.
Please.
God,
Just one more picture, and then I can ask for anything I want.
Yeah, the way you pose like that mirror. I like the way you bend over and make that ass bigger.
God, I want to push you on your knees to pray.
Come over here,
Let you
baby
suck
girl.
the Jesus out of me.
Just one more picture, and then I
Smile
can lay
for
down
the
and
camera,
sleep.
baby. Cheese.
Don't you want to be my somebody?
I'm sorry.
Damn the things I do.
Come over and let me darling. take your picture.
Oh,
Baby, I
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
myself.
Just like that.
I promise I won't show nobody.
Like the way you bend over, make your ass look bigger.
Don't you want to feel like a
The way you pose in the
Smile for
bathroom
the
mirror
camera, baby.
when nobody's looking.
Cheese.
God, I wanna
You know
push
the
you on
kind
your knees to pray
when
and
you're
suck
all
the
alone.
Jesus out of me.
Feeling your body, touching yourself in different angles, just pushing for a picture. Thinking about that special someone who texted you, begged you. Please?
One more picture, and I can lay down to sleep.
Please? Please? Send me a picture.
Just one more picture.
When your morality decreases and curiosity increases, your superego gets put in the corner as it slips out of the sex section of your closet, laying out your nicest lingerie, putting it in your drunken periphery. The echoing of his voice assuring you with hollow confidence.
You've been photographed before and worse.
Damn the things
Don't you
I
pose
do.
naked
darling.
with paint on your body?
Oh, baby, I hate
Promise.
myself.
I won't show nobody.
It'll just be for me and nobody else.
Don't you want to feel like somebody?
Don't you want to feel like somebody?
Do you want to feel like somebody?
Oh, don't you want to be my somebody? Him just squealing through the phone. God, I want to push you on your knees to pray and let you suck the Jesus out of me. You intoxicated with the infatuation and attention that you're absorbing, pushing your mind and body. Just one more picture and I can lay down and sleep. Him furiously rubbing it out, ignoring you're just a human, begging more and more. Just one more picture and I can ask for anything I want. Just one more picture and I can lay down and sleep. Smile for the camera, baby. Jeez. Oh, I'll show you how to smile. I'll smile for you real good with all my pearly whites. Do I make you feel things? Do I take your commands so you can enjoy my submissive talk? Can I interest you in a relationship? Cheese. Okay. Let me tell you a story. When I was about 7 or 8, I would always look forward to seeing the Fall Fashion Week review at the Neiman Marcus Cafe with my mom. She would order a glass of iced tea and I a strawberry lemonade. I would always doze off while watching the Fashion Week reviews, just daydreaming of me being up there. Full disclosure, I was never really slim figured, and I did not know how backwards the modeling world was at the time, but the very daydream of me up there walking for brands like Chanel or Christian Louboutin or Oscar de la Renta, which is my mom's favorite, made me want to try walking in heels. So, that very same evening, I walked up to my mom as she was watching TV, and I asked her, "Mom, could you teach me how to walk in heels?" She smiled and giggled. Then she proceeded to tell me something I thought she would never say in like a million years. She said, "Go ask your father. Trust me." Right? Like, I was shocked. I was, like, absolutely flabbergasted. So, I went up to him, and I asked, "Hey, Dad, could you teach me how to walk in heels?" He smiled and giggled like my mom. Then he proceeded to walk to the front entryway, and he turned to me and said, "Go grab a pair of your mom's heels and meet me back here." I was excited. I was so excited. I ran to my mom's closet and grabbed my favorite pair of heels, which were Prada kitten heels in Barbie pink. I eagerly slipped them on and waited for further instructions. Then my dad proceeded to show me how to walk in heels, but it sounded more like instructions to IKEA furniture. You know, shoulders back, eyes forward, knees with a slight bend, and walk. And he proceeded to walk just like how he told me. I didn't get it. I did not get it. And I asked him, could you show me, like, one more time? He rolled his eyes and proceeded to tell me again. But this time in a softer, more comforting tone of voice. He said, shoulders back, eyes forward, knees with a slight bend, don't walk like a stick, relax, breathe, look to where you're walking to, and walk. I'd be lying if I said I got it right on the first try. Baby giraffes on roller skates or ballerinas on cocaine looked way more graceful than how I was walking. So I tried it again and again. Oh, I remember just getting so frustrated, and God, I was getting frustrated. I was so frustrated. I remember I just stomped away in those pink Prada heels and then I took a breath. I remember one attempt I had my arms out and to keep balance, and my dad laughed. He said I looked more like a tightrope walker than a runway model. But I still wanted to try it just one more time. And in that moment, I remembered the feeling that I had when I was with my mom, with her watching those models at Fashion Week, and me wanting to be like them. So I did it one more time. And I got it. I got it! I got the sweet taste of success, and I wanted more. Years later, I remember doing my first photo shoot, like actual one. I did not know what was going on or what to do, so I walked up to the photographer and asked him, so what do I do? I remember him telling me, hips out, but not too far out. Bring your right knee, slight bend, and don't forget to smile. And I was like, that was fun. That was so fun. So I decided to do more and more shoots. And these shoots start off as simple, basic poses, to more action shot poses, to more elaborate action shot poses. I won't lie. The later ones did get a little erotic. But even when they did, I still remembered the feeling that I had with my mom watching Fashion Week. Glamour is something more than what you put on your body. It has to deal with the way you carry yourself and the impact that you have on others. It's a Tom Ford quote. Even to this day, this quote still sticks with me when I would grace the camera with my body. What I learned from all of that, was glamour is skin deep and requires years and years of confidence just to skim the surface. Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks, Dita Von Teese, those women ooze glamour. This simply did not come from solely wearing heels. It comes from years of critiques, judgmental stares, two-faced partners, and long nights of self-judgment. I feel like everyone goes through something like that. Don't you? Look at me. Look at me. I know you see me. Don't try to hide it. Don't pretend to look at me. Embarrassed at how crude I glare at you while you gawk at my nude body? I know you see my face. Pure, untouched, dare I say, innocent? I know you see my neck, tilted, yet active. Like if the weight of my womanly troubles is too much to bear in this face, these eyes, this jawline. I know you see my breasts, perky, young, and supple. Ripe enough for the picking, yet soft enough for your rough hands to squeeze and play with to your heart's content. Way perkier than your wife's, and with much smaller areolas. I know you see my body, curvy, smooth like porcelain, and white as snow. Not a wrinkle, stretch mark, freckle, or mole in sight. I can see you boning at my legs and feet, daydreaming of how light they can wrap around your hips and how they clench with orgasm, or lack thereof. I'm not dumb. I can see you staring where my hand is covering. It's called a vagina, not a coochie, not a snatch, not a cunt. It's a vagina. And it's mine. Oh, I see you brought me flowers. How thoughtful. Do you give flowers to all the prostitutes you fuck? Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't very ladylike of me. Yet, you staring and subconsciously drooling over my young body with your partner and child next to you isn't very gentlemanly now. Is it? Hello, handsome. Looking for a little kick in your life? Itching for some spice in the bedroom? Feeling a little lonely, are we? I can help. I sell the kind of stuff that gives you a break from your job, your family, and your life. What I sell is hours of browbeating fun at your own expense. I sell tension relief, so you can beat me and fuck me till your wife's nagging you, never say your kids, voice runs screaming out of your head. Full disclosure, sir, that screaming will be mine. Oh, me? Will I be okay? No. But you're the one that's going to be paying my bills for the next month. Yes, sir. You're my walking cash cow. You're going to be the one I might just sue for domestic violence, causing your wife to divorce you and take the kids, which will leave you drunken, pissed, and crawling back to my hollow arms. Yes, sir. That's what I sell. Scandal. By the end of our hours together, I'll be so bruised and verbally abused, you won't know the difference between a sex doll and a red-headed stepchild. No? Well, that's why I'm not in the comedy business. So, have I gotten your attention? Have you figured out how you'll be rearranging my body to fit your needs? Yes? Well then, shall we begin? Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Hey, what's wrong? I lost you and you're... Okay. Why are you naked? Oh my god, shit, I should not have left you alone. Fuck, okay. When I saw you a couple hours ago, you said you were going out and I left you alone and oh my god, okay. Hey, you, yeah, you. Do you know what happened? Hey, I'm talking to you. Do you know what happened? What do you mean the fuck? I'm talking. Fuck you, man. Ignoring the pain of a bare lady who is clueless to what is going on except for in this moment right now? Why are you staring at us and yet refuse to help? If you see a woman in distress, do you just ignore her? Do you leave her alone to idly stand by and watch her struggle? Let me put it to you this way. If she were your mother and you saw her naked and scared and unsure of what the fuck was going on, would you idly stand by and watch her struggle? Oh, ha ha. Fuck you, man. Damn you for not finding her, accuse her guilty of stealing her fucking femininity, robbing her of her goddamn dignity. If you were in her position, feeling the feelings that she felt, seeing the things that she saw, hearing the voices that she heard, would you idly stand by and just watch her? Hey, let's get out of here. Come on. It's okay, we'll go. It's okay, come on. I got you. Fear me, humans, people who tremble with conformity and the imagination of the perfect housewife. I am not her. I am the one you call a cold-hearted bitch. I am the one you fear most. I do not stand with your capitalist views on women and girls. I stand with all. Anyone who identifies as female and knows in their heart that they are female. I do not stand with humans who think women should only stay indoors and not explore. I stand with women who should not only be in the House, but also in the Senate. I stand with all. Cisgender and transgender females who know they are female. Know that nobody can and will take her identity away with some law that says no. I stand with the curvy bitches. The full-figured, fruit-shaped, stretch-marked, hourglass, multicolored females who lead with confidence and help those who are lost find their way in this masculine-dominated society. So hear me now and listen good. This body is not for sale. It is owned by me, myself, and I. This mind isn't for stealing ideas from. It is for me, myself, and my work. This face isn't so you can masturbate to later. It is for me to feel and smile with. This voice isn't for mocking when I say I have dreams of being larger than life. It is for those who choose to listen to me say, I have my PhD, so suck it. I am here. I am not an object to gawk at. I am a force to be reckoned with. So one of the topics I go over in my show, the biggest one is body dysmorphia and femme bodies. From you being as a fellow lady, what is your mindset about individuals either struggling with body dysmorphia or techniques of finding confidence in their body and stuff like that?
I feel like in the past, a lot of people talked about how magazines and like TV ads were kind of promoting like unrealistic body types, and I feel like nowadays that has transferred over to like Instagram and social media, essentially, where you're seeing the same things but more often, and then, you know, that can be kind of, I mean, it kind of goes back to like constantly comparing yourself to people who may or may not state that they've had surgery to look the way that they do, or who are obsessively going to the gym and stuff like that. I think that there is kind of more of an appreciation or understanding, and this kind of goes into the trans community as well, where like, you know, everybody's body is different, and like there's an appreciation for all types of bodies, and I feel like society's almost getting there, but there's definitely a lot of work. There's definitely a lot of work for people to actually get there and not just go with whatever is being thrown in your face. Being feminine and like showing and boasting and being proud of your femininity, I think is definitely being promoted more, I guess would be the right word.
You know, social media sucks, man. Like, seriously, who checks their phone every 5 seconds just to see how many likes they can get within 1 minute of posting? Yeah, like I would ever do that. The one that critiques us the most is the voice inside us. Men and women alike do this at least 3 times a day. Y'all, how many of you think down or badly about the figure that you have? Better yet, how many of you look at someone who has your dream body and you think, damn, if I had a body like that, I'd be so perfect. I'd like to think I can blame this on social media or an enemy that has the body I strive towards, but it's not them. It's me. Me for shaming the body that was created after fun drinking nights of snacking while high, strange period cravings, and the fun I had while doing it. So, why do I shame my body? Blame me for eating the delicious food or taking the day off. That question brings me a kind of anxiety. Do I really want to know the answer? I sometimes feel like a selfie. Outward feeling happy, but inward self-loathing. This should not be the fix that solves that problem. This should be that ever free-flowing happiness when you smile with your eyes and body. The confidence that oozes when you feel it in your bones, jiving with those happy thoughts. The confidence that others see in you all the time. That is what I will feel like. Glamour is something more than what you put on your body. It has to deal with the way you carry yourself and the impact that you have on others.
That's a wrap. That was the last shot of Obscene Phenomena. We did it. Yep. Hooray! Yay!
All right.
All right.
Hi, I'm Brittany Hale and I teach performance studies at the University of North Texas, and I wanted to respond to Obscene Phenomena. The three main things I'm going to talk about are her stylistic and performance choices, how this performance could be used as an educational or activist tool, and then also how the team embraced the new medium of video, which is presenting performance in a different way than what we're typically used to. And so first I want to start with those performance choices. And I can't discuss all of them because there were so many smart ones, but I want to highlight a couple. So the first thing is actually the very first scene. In the way that the scene is shot on a backstage location while the performer is talking about kind of the behind the scenes process of developing your identity, I thought was really cool. And then also the fact that it was a continuous shot was just really neat, and I'm sure very hard to do, but also it related to this this sort of journey through time and also journey through the physical space. and the journey through her experience of how her self-image changed based on these internal and external factors. So there was a lot of variation amongst the show in the different types of scenes, which is very important when you're doing a one-person show, because it can be hard to hold the attention of an audience when it's just one person. But I think the way that it was handled and the amount of variation between the different scenes and locations and costumes and feelings and attitudes and lighting and etc. Really adds so much variety and so many layers to the performance. So I wanted to talk just quickly about the juxtaposition between the first three scenes. So the first scene being a scene where we are hearing from the performer directly, to the second scene where we are hearing music but no actual personal narrative, and it's very colorful, and then cut to the third scene, which is black and white, and we get the narrative back. And so even within the first three scenes, you can see that there's a lot of diversity in the way that this material is going to be presented to us as an audience. And so you've got layers there, which is great. And then there's also, in some of the transitions, there's this double imaging of art pieces, and then it relates to the positions that the performer takes in the scene immediately following. I found it intriguing that she used art as opposed to like social media or images from magazines, but it kind of, makes sense because this expression of what femininity is supposed to be has gone back way before magazines and the internet. And so we see that in art. And I also think that it's cool that we're using art to respond to art. And then the final scene, one of the things I wanted to point out is she is doing yoga and talking about Instagram, which is a very Instagrammable thing to do yoga, especially in that location, very lush. And so she's talking about that while she's sort of critiquing, the expectations in the world. And so she's engaging in it while critiquing it at the same time. And there was something that I noticed that I don't know if it was intentional or not, but in the background of the scene, there was a sign that said, please leash. And I know that refers to dogs, but I also think it's interesting because women can be referred to in that way as well. And we are expected to be constrained or reined in or controlled, especially in regards to our bodies. So I don't know if that was on purpose, that I loved it, that was in the background, and also that we were given the time to notice things that were in the scene because we had time for her to walk completely in frame and then to also walk away at the end of the performance. So how do I see it as an engaging tool for education and activism? I think it really makes the audience think in a different way about something that you might know something about if you've experienced these expectations around body image, and I think many of us do. Then you have a point in, you have a chance to relate to this in general, but maybe you hadn't thought about it as in depth as Zoe has. So for those of you that know her, this might make you consider her differently through the use of performance or through the way that she opened up or restrained or just let it all out there. I think you might be thinking of her in a different way. And for those of you that don't know her, you got a snapshot of who she is. You got a snapshot of how she relates to the world, how she relates to this particular issue within the world. And I think it's really good because it takes this abstract, and it can apply to any one concept and say, yes, it can apply to anyone. This is how it applies to one person. And this is what it's done in this one person's life. So yes, we know it's, an experience that many folks have, but let's specifically look at the effect that it's had on this one individual. And so you get to know her, you get drawn in the performance. And sometimes you get pushed back, which I think is important in art as well. And so that adds to the many different layers. And so as an audience, you have to ask yourself questions throughout the performance. How does her use of personal narrative, or her use of performance art, or her use of references to the media, how does that affect you? How does that draw you in? How does that make you think about things differently than you would be if you were reading a paper or watching a news story or something of that nature? What does performance add to it for you? And for me, it adds a lot, specifically in the use of performance art. So performance art has been around since the early 1900s, or some may say the late 1800s. And it has been a really valuable tool for folks to go against the grain of what is expected in society or what is expected in the art world. And I think it gives a lot more freedom than even traditional styles of performance for a person to really express themselves more fully than they would via other avenues. And it bothers me that we kind of have this like sense of having to ask for permission, but I do think that performance art really gives us a lot of permission. I know for my own, forays into performance art, it was really hard to do at first because I thought that I needed to be proper and ladylike and constrained in a way that I was trained in more theater environments. And then the expression of performance art, of really like getting in touch with like a guttural sense of yourself, I think is really important for a performer in their own growth, but is also really important for an audience member to have these visceral, real connections with the performer, ways to be drawn in, ways to maybe feel with the performer in a way that you wouldn't have otherwise. So Elaine Scarry wrote a book in 1987 called The Body in Pain. And one of the things that she says about pain is to have great pain is to have certainty. To hear that another person has pain is to have doubt. Which really struck me, because I think that that there is this emotional and reference to physical pain in this performance, and when you are standing outside of that experience, it can be really easy to dismiss it or not fully engage with it. And I think performance art takes us closer to that step of empathizing with another human being and finding a sense of connection with others. And I also think that you're learning so much. Like, you're learning not only about the world and yourself and social issues, but it's this new tool that you have in your educational toolbox or in your learning toolbox to access ideas in a different, and I would argue a more full way. And so, yes, it can be very freeing, especially when you are considering the expression of yourself, but also how your expression has an effect on your audience, and always taking care of your audience through that process as well. Never going so far over the edge that you are disrespecting your audience, which Zoe did not do at all in this performance. I think that she expressed herself fully and passionately, but also took care of herself and her audience throughout the performance. And so I really see this as a tool for activism. The other thing that kept playing through my mind throughout the entire performance was video, man. Like, it's just so wild. So I am so used to having a black box performance space, and that's where we do the work. And even when we've been relegated to like doing rehearsal or doing a performance in a classroom, I still envision it in the physical performance space that we have. And so using video, and not using video because, hey, I want to make it, into a video, but using video because these are the times, like, this is what we have to do. I've been afraid of it, honestly, because I teach 5 performance classes that are entirely remote. So everything that we're doing is happening via video. And even in conceptualizing, okay, what does this choice look like? I have to redirect my mind from what would this look like in the black box to what does it look like in your living room or your driveway or in the park? Like, how can we think about what things we have access to that are so different than in a performance space? We don't have pre-hung lights. We don't have a projector. We don't have black walls and a black floor and a live audience. And so I think they really did a tremendous job of embracing the medium of video in a way that they didn't have a choice, so they kind of had to, but I think it's really great. And I think that it's opening up all these new avenues for choices that we can make in performances moving forward, even after we're able to be in the same room together again. I think it's cool because it's like, okay, we were thinking about things in a physical realm, but now we can think about things like you couldn't bring an entire park into your black box, but you can do a scene in the park, or you could film footage and then perform in front of it, or what are the other ways that you can interact with a recording of yourself and double image even yourself. And so I think that really opens up a lot of new possibilities. I think especially with how smart and effective the performance choices were in this, it shows that it is possible to make successful performance, both through the use of personal narrative, through the use of a one-person show, through the use of performance art, through the use of video, like through the use of embedding research into performance that's for a general public as well. They took on so much. Zoe took on so much in this performance. And I think that really, what better way to bring people into the fold of performance studies to show them what we've got, what we can do, even when our backs are to the wall. So thanks for listening. And Zoe, I'm so proud of you.